You might be a friend of mine from a long, long time ago. Or you might be a friend of a friend of a friend of a person I'll never know. Well, however it is that you came here, whatever it is that you bring, welcome to our country store where all we do is sing. All of our stock is homegrown brew, mixing old and new. So if your favorite fad is on Madison Avenue, just pass on through. But if Grandma's baking succeeds in making you knock on memory's door, well, take this spoon and grab a tune. You've come to the right store. For you might be a friend of mine from a long, long time ago. Or you might be a friend of a friend of a friend of a person I'll never know. Well, however it is that you came here, whatever it is that you bring, welcome to our country store where all we do is sing. We're not looking to make fast sales. We're not a volume biz, so you can turn your dial for a country mile. That's not where our merchandise is, but the people who find us will always remind us of what's up on our shelves. When the goods that you're making are made for the making, the goods will sell themselves. Where we shop and what we buy are questions often blurred. But dare we stop to question why we're pushed back in the herd? But if you will question the goods you invest in, you'll shop alone no more. Give it a try and you'll understand why we opened this country store. For you might be a friend of mine from a long, long time ago. Or you might be a friend of a friend of a friend of a person I'll never know. Oh, however it is that you came here, whatever it is that you bring, welcome to our country store where all we do is sing. I said, welcome to our country store where all we do is sing. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Guthrie Center. I'm so glad we could gather here tonight for a communal celebration of my grandson. And before anybody interrupts my carefully prepared extemporaneous remarks, let me quickly acknowledge I now have two grandsons. Grandson number 2 arrived a little more than a year ago. He's a bundle of adorable, but his song has not yet arrived. His older brother, who's now 4, he's got a song, in part because his parents had the foresight to give him a combination of first and middle name that is a lyricist's dream. And I wrote a little part for you. Micah Perry's head's on Grandpa's shoulder. All's right with the world. Sing all's right. All's right with the world. It's like a little bed on Grandpa's shoulder. All's right with the world. Do that. All's right with the world. From the top, it's Micah Perry's head's on Grandpa's shoulder. All's right with the world. It's like a little bed on Grandpa's shoulder. All's right with the world. But when all is well enough, it's well known, Micah's grandpa can't leave well enough alone. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. Kisses, kisses, kisses make a meal of Micah's neck. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. Micah Perry's howling with each peck. Then Micah Perry's head resumes position. All's right with the world. But Micah Perry's head's full of suspicion. All's right with the world. It's not a question of whether, but of when Grandpa's kisser will be coming round again. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. Kisses, 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 Grandpa savoring the meal. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. Micah Perry's figured out the deal. So Micah Perry smiles. He knows it's senseless. All's right with the world. 'Cause Micah Perry sees that he's defenseless. All's right with the world. Micah Perry and his grandpa know for sure, in this weary world of madness, it's the cure. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. Kisses are the key to where the magic is unfurled. This is the delicious part. This is the delicious part. If only for this brief but very Micah Perry moment, all's right with the world. Save your prayers, don't worry about me. Yes, I've been bumped and I've been bruised repeatedly. But if I ever needed you, I know you'd be there. So save your prayers. Save your prayers for the brittle bodies whipped by a wind they never saw. Save your prayers for the tired and tattered, left out in the raw. Save your prayers for all those shivering souls searching for the warm. Save your prayers for all those unsuspecting sailors in the storm. Save your prayers, don't worry about you. Oh, you'll be bumped and you'll be bruised, but you know we'll see it through. 'Cause if you ever needed me, you know I'd be there. So save your prayers. Save your prayers for those deprived of service at the store. Save your prayers for those denied the key to the courthouse door. Save your prayers for those we find convenient to ignore. Save your prayers for those who just can't take it anymore. But save no prayers for those who preach of heaven while they damn our souls to hell. who lack the simple grace to wish the rest of us well, who blur the false from true, the real from the absurd. Save no prayers for those who pray, our prayers won't be heard. If we save our prayers, we can save the day. We can save us all, we know the way. May our deeds be worthy of the words we say. Oh, let us pray. May our deeds be worthy of the words we say. Let us pray. Oh, let us pray. Thank you. This next song is about an episode in my life that occurred 53 years ago. I have a pretty good memory, but I'm willing to concede that I may be off on a few details, but no matter. What I say to you is some of this may be wrong, but all of it is true. You don't live there anymore on Sycamore Street, and though it isn't like before on Sycamore Street, still it stirs your troubadour to repeat. Sycamore Street. February 72, I was 18, so were you. American pie hung in the Albany air. As I drove down Sycamore, I saw you come out your door. I said, hop on in, and we became a pair. You were Portia, and I watched that theater hang on every word as you sparkled across that stage. Oh, if Shakespeare could have heard. Then you wrote a poem, my music man, I read repeatedly. I loved your poem because your music man was me. A winterland of wonder was Sycamore Street. That spell you put me under on Sycamore Street was the sweetest gentle thunder 'neath my feet. On Sycamore Street. All spring of 72, we knew just what to do. We'd hold each other tight, then tighter still. But then spring gave way to summer when I heard a different drummer. I followed it the way a young fool will. My memory must be bad, 'cause all my memories are good, of all the things we said and did, and all we said we would. But I let you slip away. I regret I let you go. It's 50 Februaries later, and I just wanted you to know. my story's been disclosed of Sycamore Street. It didn't end as I'd supposed on Sycamore Street, where what I reaped and what I sowed came to meet. February has this way of knowing what to say. It's a moral for all grateful troubadours. Every day serves to remind life's been full and love's been kind to me and mine. I hope to you and yours. I've been told to leave you be. From a friend of mine I learned that your clearest message sent was my message unreturned. So I'll put this last one out there. If it finds you, that'll do. Here's my song inside a bottle for Sycamore. I know I should leave you be, 'cause believe me, I have learned that your clearest message sent was my message unreturned. So I'll put this last one out there. If it finds you, that'll do. Here's my song inside a bottle for Sycamore and you. And I realize, as maybe you figured out from the song, this was somebody I hadn't been in touch with for a long time, and a friend of mine gave me a phone number, and I called and left a message, and called and left another message, and a friend of mine said, leave it alone. So my response was to write that song, putting it out in the world. Maybe it'll find its way to the person who is the other player in the song. But it occurred to me, I may have created a moral hazard here, namely rewarding bad behavior. Ignore my messages, I write a song telling the world that you were wonderful. Maybe that's a problem. I don't want you to go home tonight saying, if only he had played something that had a little bit of a reggae beat. So. Smitten, it's akin to being bitten by the cutest little kitten who won't go away. Smitten, I got a crush that isn't quittin'. It won't leave me to my knittin'. It's here to stay. Smitten, you're a peach without the pittin'. I'm a nitwit who's unwitting. Aren't we a pair? Smitten, it doesn't matter where we're sittin', in Bratislava or in Britain. Pull up a chair. Let's look how you won my vote when you floated my boat and you crossed my moat to put the lump in my throat. 'Cause you're the goat and you can quote me. Girl, you smote me, so I've written smitten. You set me up, then you entrapped me. You snuggled in and then you zapped me, as I hoped you would. Smitten, somehow you slipped through my defenses, and now the happy consequence is this boy feels good. I believe that as your beau from long ago, it's apropos to let my feelings flow, 'cause by now you know it's not all show, girl. Since you bit me, I've stayed bitten, smitten. No other word for it, I'm smitten. By now you may have heard I'm smitten, smitten with you. Smitten. Do you wonder why I'm beaming? Am I awake or am I dreaming? Did I hear you say you're smitten too? It is Saturday, raining, the kids are complaining, so I throw them both in the van. We drive to the alley, they give us a lane after we rent our shoes from the man. Each kid finds a ball that her fingers can fit in. We set up the score sheet, that's my seat to sit in. The last hurdles were saying who will go first, and finally it's time to bowl. She hopes for a strike so she'll hear thousands cheer. She gives it her best but the ball starts to veer. It heads for the gutter, a zero, a nada. These times are the toughest if you're that girl's father. I can't stand the sight so I close my eyes tight, and the next thing I know it's a strike. Because it hit the bumper, it's bumpers. These kids all need bumpers to help them with life's twists and bends. When your very best shot's heading straight down the dumper, a bumper can be your best friend. Bumpers, it's bumpers. These kids all need bumpers to make what is wrong come out right. When you feel like you've taken your share of life's lumpers, a bumper can help ease the bite. We ate French fries consistently, bowled intermittently. Now we're all back in the van. We tootle along with the radio on. My girls have slipped off to sleepland. I bought off those two kids with 6 bags of candy. I definitely got this whole dad thing down dandy. We turn at the light with our house now in sight, and finally my luck runs out. I stop where you're supposed to stop, at the stop sign, when some jerk in a Jaguar comes up from behind. I don't like what I hear, so I glance in the mirror. I'm stopped, I'm dead stopped, but this guy's getting nearer. I shudder in fright, feel the impact, it's slight, and the next thing I know, we're all right. Because he hit my bumper, it's bumpers, us grown-ups need bumpers. The ride can get rocky, you know. When you're getting thumped by a turbocharged thumper, a bumper can cushion the blow. Bumpers, it's bumpers, yeah, grown-ups need bumpers for what makes our bleeding hearts bleed. When your battery's drained and in need of a jumper, a bumper's the charge that you need. When the easiest question turns into a stumper, you order prime rib, but they serve you the rumper. It's World Series time, and you're stuck in a slumper. You dream of Jude Law, but you date Forrest Gumper. Your Paris-bound flight lands in Kuala Lumpur. To hurdle these humpers, remember the trumper. It's bumpers, the whole world needs bumpers, but bumpers can be hard to find. So let's make a deal that'll show how we feel. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. Bumpers, that's right, let's be each other's bumpers. A pact will enact, let's play ball. I'll be there for you if you'll be there for me, and the seed that we sow will grow positively to the best bumper crop that there ever could be. A world full of bumpers for all. I like to flatter myself and think that that's what would have happened if You've Got a Friend had been written by Dr. Seuss. That last song, Bumpers, and the first song, Country Store, are songs that I recorded on my second album, an album called Climbing That Ladder, back in 2008. No, hold your applause, really, please. Fine. And when in the years after recording that second album, occasionally somebody would say to me, when are you going to do another album? And I had a stock answer to that question, which was, why would I do another album? I haven't gotten finished losing money from the first two albums. So the years went by, and I put together a bunch of songs, and so I've now recorded another album called Tip of the Spear. Tip of the Spear. Thank you very much. I didn't have to fish too hard for that, did I? Tip of the spear, the image of those warriors who are in the forefront of the noble battle. I'm adopting a different kind of marketing and promotional approach for this album. For the first two albums, my approach could be summed up by saying, I was waiting to be on my deathbed when I would say to somebody, go to my computer, there's a file that says songs, and go see if anybody would like to listen to them. So I thought for this album I would do it differently. So I have a website, I got a publicist for the music publications, I got a publicist to get the songs on the radio. A good friend of mine, some of you are Aztec Two-Step fans, I'm sure, my friend Neil Schulman of Aztec Two-Step, saw that my brother Bud had posted on Facebook that I have a new album out, and he said, my brother Douglas is not on Facebook, which is true. Was true. So Neil Schulman sends me an email, and he says, knock it off. You have to be on Facebook. When I got on Facebook, my brother actually called me and said, was your computer hacked? All right. That's how unlikely the Facebook thing was. And so my goal in doing this album and trying to promote it is I want to get out and play. Now, I want to get out and perform. I want to do house concerts. Play in small clubs, large stadiums perhaps. 60,000 people singing, all's right with the world. I mean, it could be a thing. Just if you're interested, the album, I worked with two different producers. The story doesn't warrant a retelling, but each one of them really talented people. John Guth has a studio in Valley Cottage next to Nyack in New York. And John has he toured with Tom Paxton and Bob Gibson years ago. He worked with people like Galt McDermott, who wrote Hair. And John plays guitar as well as having arranged a bunch of the songs on the album. A terrific guitar player, and that was wonderful. The other producer is a guy named Lorne Entris. Lorne's got a studio in Tolland, Connecticut, and my friend Rex Fowler from Aztec Two-Step put me in touch with Lorne, and I saw that Lorne's a drummer by trade. He toured with Mary Chapin Carpenter, and he produced many people, including Katie Curtis, the songwriter Katie Curtis. I'm a huge fan of Katie. I said, good enough for Katie, good enough for me. And Lorne brought in some extraordinary musicians. We needed a guitar player. He brings in Duke Levine. Now, some of you may know Duke Levine. I was ignorant, I didn't know, but Duke comes in the studio, and Lorne says, Duke, when do you go out on tour? He says, next month. And I said, well, who are you touring with? He says, Bonnie Raitt. All right. Then the next time we needed a guitar player, Duke's not available, so Lorne says, I got a guy, he's pretty good, Kevin Barry. Kevin Barry has toured with Jackson Browne. And for those of you who, like me, worship the songwriting of Jackson Browne, let me just say, from the stories that Kevin told, Jackson Browne is as nice a guy as you would want him to be, for those of us who love his music. One day in the studio, as the songwriter, really all I cared about was, do these guys like these songs? Do they think they're good songs? And they would come in and they say, oh, this is really good. We like this. This is good. And they would say, we can make a good song better. We can't make a bad song good. Okay. So one day I went for it, and I said, I think it was to the bass player, Richard Gates, a wonderful guy. I said, what do you say if you don't like a song? And Richard paused, and he said, you know, I don't think I hear a part for me in this song. And I said, oh, I've cracked the code. So anyway, this next song, like I think Save Your Prayers, is part of my attempt to write songs that do what I think this kind of music should do. The arts, like religion, should comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. And of course, I'm one of the comfortable, so I have come to think of this as my self-afflicted wounds. This song comes from my notion. I do not spend any time thinking about what I would say to God, but I have a pretty fair idea of what God would say to the human race. I gave you creation, and thus it began, my daring experiment based on a plan. I wanted to see what you humans could do if someone like me put their faith in you. I blessed you with every power I know, to care and to reason, to love and to grow. But you act like you're weak and riddled with fear. Why do you think I put you here? Your children dream dreams while they sleep in the street. Then they head to the bread line for something to eat. They're looking for home on a lonely frontier. When they look for you, you disappear. Your oceans are rising, your skies are on fire. Your battle for breath's coming down to the wire. You're losing a war with your own atmosphere. What must I do to make myself clear? You think true believers must worship like you, and the only true lovers must love like you do. You hold in contempt those I hold dear. Why not embrace all who live here? Here, where there's no place to hide. Now's when you humans decide. What will my book of life say? Did my experiment bloom or fade to doomsday? I gave you creation on your own little sphere. Oh, but now you're adrift in a void and you're struggling to steer. Will you find your place at the tip of the spear? Why do you think? Why do you think? Why do you think I put you here? Thank you. When we take an oath to tell the truth, we're promising to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When it comes to our telling the history of our country, we have violated that oath many times in many ways. I believe there are many morals to the story of January 6th. I think this is one of them. There they stood, domestic terrorists, self-proclaimed, proud insurrectionists. Then a voice inside my head said, if they'd been black, they'd all be dead. If they'd been black, with a leader that irrational, who urged them on, so they surged upon the Capitol. Damn the law, full speed ahead. If they'd been black, they'd all be dead. If they'd been black, and smashed the door, chanting, hang Mike Pence, and trespassed on the Senate floor. If they fought until policemen bled, if they'd been black, they'd all be dead. If they'd been black and did what was done, they'd have been called un-American. White supremacy's bottom line. This land's not yours, it's mine. If they'd been black, those patriot imposters, as they flashed their noose and re-inflamed their rosters with the slurs and slanders that they spread. If they'd been black, they'd all be dead. If they'd been black, and they smeared the walls with feces, you'd have sworn that they descended from another species that defiled the flag they drenched in red. If they'd been black, they'd all be dead. If they'd been black and did what was done, they'd have been called un-American. White supremacy's bottom line. This land's not yours, it's mine. Now we sit watching videos that haunt us. With each replay, those fraudsters mock and taunt us. Save America, they pled, but you know if they'd been black. So let's admit our history's a scandal. Let's make it right. Let history light a candle. Let it never more again be said. If they'd been black, if they'd been black, they'd all be dead. Now we're going to have a little fun. I lead a blessed life, and somehow or another it turns out that I get to be friends with some of the people who've made the music that has been so much a part of my life. The world is upside down tonight. That I'm the featured artist and she is my special guest makes no sense at all, except if you know her, because This woman is beloved by everyone in the world of folk music because the only thing equal to her talent is the size of her heart. She is the most generous person any of us know. I am thrilled to be able to say, please welcome my special guest, Christine Lavin. I met Christine a long time ago when we were both appearing at the 15th anniversary of a radio show in New York City called Woody's Children, hosted by the late Robert Sherman, whose contribution to folk music was just wonderful. And so I was there for reasons that will become apparent at the end of the show. And I'm standing in a room. There's Pete Seeger, Tom Paxton, Fred Hellerman from the Weavers. There's Tom Chapin, and there's Christine Lavin. So I go over to Christine, and I said, I'm Doug Mishkin. It's so nice to meet you. I have always loved your song, Santa Monica. I love that song. I sing that song. And Christine said, oh, really? Well, I've never sung the song. And I didn't really understand what she said. So 5 years later, at the 20th anniversary show, we only did these every 5 years, I went back over to her and I said, were you telling me that you don't sing it anymore, or you don't sing it that often, or is it possible you said you've never performed it? And the answer was, she said she had never performed the song. That was one indication, before I got to know Chris better, that she's just nuts, because this is a wonderful song. And when she offered to come tonight as a special guest, I said, well, let's sing the song together. When we started working on it, it became clear. There's her version of the song as she recorded it, which I'm sure I listened to 35 years ago to learn the song. Then there's my version of the song as I have come to sing it, because, of course, I have kind of made it my own. And then there's the version of the song you're going to hear tonight. But I just want to make it clear, between the two of us, we have sung this song in public probably an average of 50 times. I've done it about 100 times, and Chris never before has sung this song in public. So here we go. A good song about a place can make you feel that you've been there even if you've never been there. This song did that for me long before I ever got to Santa Monica. I got beach glass and tokens in my pocket, sizing up each other's worth. Neither one will do me any good here. I throw them into the surf. The palm trees all look a little bit like Tina Turner looks from behind. Boys on their skateboards have strategically tousled hair, the Bon Jovi kind. I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear. There's ice cream cones and souvenirs. Oh, there's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life.
Roller skaters with their headphones on, they sway to the private beat. I drop into the Crown and Anchor. Time to eat, time to eat. No matter what it is I order, I know there's an avocado hidden on this plate. I don't like them, but I still eat them. I'm not tempting fate.
I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear. There's ice cream cones and souvenirs. Oh, there's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life.
Back home, I hear the stock market's booming, booming.
I hear the bears and the bulls are taking it all in stride.
Out here, the hot air ballooning.
Yeah, they go zooming up into the sky. Oh, I am a stranger here.
Stranger here.
Santa Monica Pier.
Santa Monica Pier.
Fishing gear. Ah, souvenirs. Get your souvenirs here. Come on and feel that breeze. Tina Turner trees.
Tina Turner trees.
Days like these.
Look at that beautiful Mexican boy holding tight to his papa's hand.
Mira, mira, he cries as he points to the papaya juice stand.
Look at that old lady dozing off. I wonder what she's dreaming of.
What could be better than this?
Except for maybe being in love.
I am a stranger
I
here.
am a stranger
Strolling
here.
down the Santa Monica Pier.
Santa Monica
Picnic
Pier.
baskets and fishing gear. There's ice
Fishing
cream
gear.
cones and
Ice cream
souvenirs.
cones and
Oh, there's a fine
souvenirs.
warm
There's a
western
fine
breeze
warm western
stirring up the
breeze.
Tina Turner
Stirring up the Tina
trees.
Turner trees.
I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life.
We did it! We did it!
Author!
Hey, Jeff, do you want to give away the book?
Sure.
That would be great.
With Chris, it's never about just getting up and singing the songs. Well, why don't you explain what this lending library is all about?
Well, there was a guy named Bob Mendesheimer who is the book critic at USA Today. And out of the blue, he sent me boxes and boxes of books that he didn't have any shelf space for. And so I would give them away. I would have to read them and then give them away at my shows. And then suddenly he died, which was such a terrible, tragic thing. He died young. And we just stopped it. But I'm trying to think, how do I explain how? Well, anyway, this book sat for 12 years on a shelf in Ashland, Oregon, because the guy who took it from the woman who won it at the show that I did in Ashland, Oregon, he forgot about it. And so he wrote to me just a couple months ago and said, I would like to send the book back to you. And so what I did was I called Doug and I said, how about if I give you the book to read, and he has read it, and we give it away at your show? And so, and this is the actual book that was used in the video that I made, Crossing the Country. So if you see the video, and Linda Ronstadt loves the video, and Jonathan Karp, who was her editor, also loved it.
So Chris said, here's a book, read it before the show, and I, of course, thought, oh, great, I got 5 other books I was going to read, now I got to read the book. What if we just say that I read the book? We have a bond, we're willing to lie for folk music. But what happened was, I got the book, and I couldn't put it down. If you're like me, if you're a Linda Ronstadt fan, if you care about that world of creativity, Jackson Browne, J.D. Souther, this book is wonderful, and really what it does is give an insight into, never mind her personal life, who cares about that? how she became a great artist. The musical intelligence that this woman had in doing what she did is extraordinary. So, I've read it, I've inscribed it. This book is going to be passed along to the first person who buys Christine Lavin's new CD out at the merch table. All right, that's my rule. Here it is. I'll get it out to the table afterwards.
Now, I'm going to do a couple of original songs. And the thing is, I'm so nervous about doing this because I took all this time off to record this new album that's coming out in August. And so I asked Doug if he would hold the lyrics and help me in case I get lost. Okay? So here we go. I have to say this part of it. I was asked by George Lay in 2012 to write a song. He asked every performer who played the Guthrie Center if you would write a song based on what you think Woody Guthrie would be writing if he were alive today.
George Lay being the longtime director of the Guthrie Center before Mo took over a few years ago.
And I thought of all the problems in the world, and I thought, this would be a tough one for Woody. Way back last century, I joined America Online. Had to come up with a password, something uniquely mine. I picked the word lightning. I have no idea why. Light is gonna be my password until the day I die. Remember how it felt to get your first password? We were like so proud of ourselves. Then I opened an account with Amazon. They wanted a password too. So again I picked the word lightning. It was a logical thing to do. Then I joined Facebook. A single word was not sufficient. They want both letters and numbers to be safe and efficient. So I added the number 52 to my word lightning. Lightning 52 is my Facebook password. My online skills are heightening. But then I read it's dangerous to use the same passwords everywhere. So I thought, okay, what's easy to remember and accompanies lightning up in the air? Thunder! That'll be my new password as I download iTunes. But they also want a number, so Thunder what is what I picked that afternoon. Then I joined satellite radio, another password to create. What goes with lightning and thunder? Hail! That'll work just great. But they said no, hail is too short a word. But hailstones, that works fine. I've already come a long way from lightning and obsolete America Online. Then I joined Gmail, lightning, thunder, hailstones, Twister. But they tell me that's a weak password, so I consult my little sister. Now, when you have computer trouble, you can't go to anybody older and wiser, because there is nobody older and wiser. So my little sister says, how about the word hurricane, but add a number to make it secure? So Hurricane 53 kept the bad guys from my digital door. So far so good, till the day Facebook let me know somebody hacked into my account. My old password has gotta go. Oh no, Lightning 52 became Lightning 53. But only for a couple of weeks. 'Cause then my account got hacked again, and my password needed tweaks. But Lightning 54 was rejected. They said it was way too close to Lightning 53. So I made a bold choice. Humidity 9, that's the new password for me. Everything was A-okay until the day I let a friend use my laptop. She did something to my AOL account that brought it to a screeching stop. They said she emailed way too many people. My account got junked. I was... what's the next word? I could reopen it in 24 hours, but my password was now defunct. gave me a new password, my zip code, and my initial. But they said if I didn't like it, I could change it back to something more creative and less official. Well, I tried changing it back to lightning. But they said, nope, you gotta find another word. So for whatever reason, at that very same moment, Typhoon 56 is what I preferred. Lightning, Lightning 52, Thunder 1, okay. Hailstones, Hurricane 50. This is the sing-along part of the show. Weren't you paying attention? Lightning 53, Lightning 54. Starting to get confused. What are those, the passwords for? Humidity 9, CL 10025. I think I'm starting to overload my brain's external drive. Typhoon 56, I don't remember what that does. If only I could go back to the time when lightning was the only password I had to remember, the only password to memorize, the only password to open sesame, everything under digital skies. For the days of the single, simple password for ancient history, I'm going to change my password to I'm an old idiot 1, 2, 3. I'm going to admit something, and I know there's video cameras running, but I have to tell you this, that a lot of those are still my passwords. I meant to change all of them, but I just couldn't. I didn't have enough room in my brain. And my friends say, you're going around the country and you're singing your real passwords to total strangers? Aren't you afraid they're going to steal your identity? And I said, not at all, because I look at you, I can tell you can't remember your own password. What are the odds you're going to remember mine? Well, I'm going to do... Oh, hold on. I just got to... This song is on my newest record. And, okay. Doug told me I should not introduce it, so I'm not going to, but you'll understand what the story is. I'm waiting for my sandwich at the deli. Frank Sinatra's on the radio. It's portobello, sprouts and Swiss on whole wheat. He was alive not so long ago. We think people like Sinatra live forever. I order coffee with 1 sugar and some milk. But they never do. They leave us feeling blue. I spilled the coffee on my dress. Damn, silk. Stewart wipes the coffee off the counter. As he hums, I've got you under my skin. Offers me club soda and a dish towel. But it's too late, the stain is setting in. Stewart's looking for a woman he can marry. What's the next word?
He recommends the dry cleaner.
He recommends the dry cleaner across the street. But the girls are coming here for cigarettes and beer. Are not the kind of girls he wants to meet. We listen to the radio. Frank is singing soft and low. Polka dots and moonbeams. Stewart's lost in daydreams. Still he builds that sandwich carefully. He adds tomato slices free. I'd introduce him if I could to someone in his neighborhood, but it's no good. 'Cause he wants someone like the women in Frank's movies. He holds out for 50 and change, and he's holding out for love on a grand scale. Sometimes I worry Stuart is deranged, 'cause every day the world comes to his doorstep, and he only sees what isn't there. He waves me out the door, that romantic dinosaur. I want a cab, but I descend the subway stairs. And now the man beside me is wearing headphones. Is that music Sinatra's voice? The woman with him looks like she needs to talk, but right now she is not first choice. So I lean to listen in a little closer. It was a very good year, my favorite tune. As we travel underground, the music curls around another New York afternoon. Stuart sings along with Sinatra's song. Oh, I messed up the words. It's another New York afternoon. Thank you.
Christine Lavin. I agree. I think she's got a great future in folk music. Yeah, I'm going to go electric for 2 songs. I'm doing this to stimulate interest in the inevitable biopic about me, because I have, the unbeatable title and subtitle. It's going to be Doug Mishkin, A Complete Known. He graduated high school, college, and law school without incident. Married, raised 2 children, now has 2 grandchildren. A life totally devoid of drama. How can it miss? This next song has a long story behind it. So here's the long version. Many years ago, and I'm talking about a show on television you may recall, the Dick Cavett Show. Dick Cavett had some songwriters on talking about how they wrote. And one of the people on the show was Alan J. Lerner of Lerner and Lowe, My Fair Lady, Camelot. And Lerner said he never liked the song I Could Have Danced All Night because he doesn't like songs where hearts do things. All at once my heart took flight. When he said that, I thought immediately, I'm with him. When lyrics have hearts doing things, too often it's a cheap lyric, it's a lazy lyric. My heart did this, my heart did that. But Lerner quickly added, the exception was the Rodgers and Hart song, My Heart Stood Still, because that turns the whole thing on its head, a heart that does nothing. Maybe some of you remember the song, I took one look at you, that's all I meant to do, and then my heart stood still. My feet could step and walk, my lips could move and talk, and yet my heart stood still. For years, for many years, I tried to write a song about the idea that there's only two things that hearts do. They beat and they don't beat. That's it. They beat, hearts do two things. They beat, then they stop. Hard to find a word rhyming with stop. I wasn't getting anywhere. Then a couple of years ago, I sat down and listened to a bunch of recordings of My Heart Stood Still. James Taylor's recording of it on his album American Standard. Oh, that was to die for. So it got me going again, and I came up with this. Hearts don't beat, hearts don't sing or dance or play, aortas don't cheat or walk away, valves don't beg to hold them tight, and ventricles do not take flight. Song after song they get this wrong, romantics often will, but Rodgers and Hart got it right when they wrote My Heart Stood Still. They understood that hearts do two things. They beat, then they don't. They will, then they won't. Boil this down to its essence, its absence after presence, stop or go, yes or no, no in-betweens. That's what hearts do, two things means. Two things hearts do. They pump, then they quit. They tick, then that's it. Dress it up in all its finery, this organ's recital's binary, real or artificial makes no difference, it'll still be off or on. Two things hearts do's reduced to pro or con. Through a haze I see Rodgers and Hart melt from the praise this homage sends, that's heartfelt. Although I was thrilled when they stilled that one heart, mine moved when you proved what a duo can start. I understand now the things two hearts do when they intertwine. Let's take yours and mine. Both arrived in working order, each content within its border. Then passion pulsed as passion will, and our two hearts could not stand still. Before they knew what would undo them, love had shot its arrow through them. Thus began our affliction, our cardiac condition. It's the sweetest biorhythm, bar none, when two hearts beat as one. in an ocean of emotion, we're all washed ashore, where we're all meant to be, where we all come to see. It's what we're here for. What the future may bring. Some say only a fool claims to know such a thing. You can call me a fool, but I don't think you should, 'cause this grandfather's holding the future. The future feels good. I got a few thank yous. First of all, to our sound man, we singers, we live and die by the sound man. Frank Kennedy, thank you for a great job. The staff of the Guthrie Center, hardest working group of people we'll ever find. Chris, Rebecca, Faith, thank you, all of you. To all the Guthrie Center volunteers who really are the heartbeat of this place, too many to mention, but thank you, all of you, for making tonight possible with all you've done. Thank you to the Marketplace Kitchen for providing a menu here tonight on what is otherwise an off night for the Guthrie Center, and a very special thanks to Terry Moore of the Mill, formerly known as the Old Mill. Terry has not simply provided the desserts for tonight, he has donated them to the Guthrie Center. And my request is, the next time any of you are lucky enough to go to the Mill, please go to Terry and tell him thank you for what you do to support the Guthrie Center. He is a good friend of the Guthrie Center. He is a wonderful citizen of this community. So you tell Terry Moore we appreciate what he's done. I also want to do a bit of a promo. Next Tuesday night on this stage is going to be a wonderful, innovative program. Some of you may be familiar with the music series, the classical music series, A Close Encounters with Music, right? They do concerts. Good. Give it up for Close Encounters with Music. The music director, Yehuda Hanani, a wonderful cellist. And these are themed concerts that go on during the year. And Yehuda does a talk at the beginning. They're terrific. Close Encounters has a summer festival comprised of high school students who come from all over the world to study with Yehuda and the rest of the faculty. They do put on master classes and performances. Last summer, I attended a performance by the students and some faculty at the home of a generous benefactor of High Peaks. And it was a wonderful evening. And afterwards, I said to the executive director, who I'd gotten to know, you know, that was a great night, but would you think of doing a performance out in the public? Get the students to play out in public. And she said, sure. And I said, would you think about doing it at the Guthrie Center? And she said, that's a great idea. And I called Mo Guthrie, and because Mo, among his many strengths, is He is open to new ideas, things that haven't been done, and he said, sounds great. So next Tuesday night, here at the Guthrie Center, is a performance by the students and faculty of the High Peaks Festival on the theme of the folk influences on classical music. There are still some seats available, and if this doesn't discourage you from coming, let me tell you that I will play a part in that presentation. This morning I got to rehearse with the students, and let me tell you, when a folk singer-songwriter gets to play with 2 violins, a viola, 2 cellos, and a piano, that's a good life. So next Tuesday night, come back to the Guthrie Center to hear the High Peaks performers right here. So I'm going to do 2 more songs before the encore. Some things should not be left to chance. When I wrote this next song, the best thing about it, I said, was that it was about a real place. Now the best thing about it is it's about where I live. I took a plane to a train to a taxi on Main, my way station in Wassaic. We rode Route 22 like the New Yorkers do, and a few who come from south of Passaic. Then as we drove 23 through the winterized trees that heralded my arrival, all the air rearranged, my DNA changed to engineer my revival. Egremont moves me, Egremont moves me, Egremont proves what I'd hoped for. First time I feel like I'm home at last, Egremont evermore. Oh, it's a landslide win any day that begins walking into the country store. I buy an eagle from the stand, then I take my band for a pancakes at Mom's Encore. And when my 3 girls surround me with laughter, whether with me or at me, that's fine. Where within the boundary I'm after, safe within that shrine. Oh, Egremont moves me, Egremont moves me, Egremont soothes all that's sore. First time I feel like I'm home at last, Egremont evermore. Every time that I arrive here, the flight attendant's words ring true. My contents have definitely shifted in a way I always dreamed they would do. Thought of myself as more of a man of time rather than space. But with my friends and guitars under Berkshire stars, my time has found my place. You see, I love the town I was born in and where I've lived since then. But every Berkshire morning takes me home again. Egremont moves me, Egremont moves me, Egremont proves what dreams are for. It seems like a dream to be home at last, Egremont evermore. Oh, it ain't no dream, I'm home at last, Egremont Sagamont evermore. We are all Woody's children. We are all glory bound. When we smile, when we sing his songs, we show we know the truth he found. Pete Seeger said, all the folk singers who came after Woody Guthrie were Woody's children. In my house, growing up in the 60s and early 70s, my father watched me fall in love with this kind of music, and he said, you know, in a time of Vietnam and civil rights and all of that, he said, folk singers are the conscience of this nation. And he was talking about people like Pete Seeger and Tom Paxton and Phil Oakes, Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I thought about that, and I said, you know, we all already sing along on these songs, and if it's about being the conscience of the nation, it had better be all of us. Christine Lavin, where are you? Christine's going to make her way back down. So I wrote this, and you can sing it, but only if you agree. We are all Woody's children, all glory bound. We are all glory bound when we smile, when we smile, when we sing his songs, we show we know the truth he found. In your Oklahoma home, a troubadour, all set to roam. You and your family, you felt the dust bowl below. You sang your songs and let us know. Sing it with us. We are all Woody's children, glory bound. We are all glory bound when we smile, when we smile, when we sing his songs. We show we know the truth he found. You rode the rails as hobos do, saw hard-hit people scraping through, took scattered voices, feeling small. You made a glorious chorus of us all. Here we go. We are all Woody's children. We are all glory bound. When we smile, when we sing his songs, we show we know the truth he found. Every businessman or woman in a suit, every migrant farmer picking fruit, if they'd listen to your songs, they'd know there's one family where we belong. My friends, I swear to you, there is no place else on earth I would rather have done this album release concert than here in the Guthrie Center. I know my rabbi will understand when I say, this is my church. It's so much more than a great music venue, and it is that. But the Guthrie Center is a social service center. It serves this community in all the ways that the songs of Woody's children talk about. And at the head of it now, my friend Mo Guthrie, and I think we are in great hands here at the Guthrie Center with Mo. My favorite contemporary moral philosopher, Arlo Guthrie, said, If the world were near perfect, imagine what you'd need to do to make a difference. But in a world as badly broken as ours, the smallest thing you do can make a difference. And I got an idea about a small thing you can do. George Lay, former director here, George instituted a tradition years ago. It's a two-part questionnaire. Show of hands. How many people are here tonight at the Guthrie Center for the first time? Show of hands. Wonderful. Welcome. Question number 2. Show of hands. How many of you are members of the Guthrie Center? Okay. For those of you who got question number 2 wrong, you can fix that, and you can fix it tonight before you leave here. If you catch yourself thinking anytime, with all that's going on these days, what can I do? You can become a member of the Guthrie Center for the minimum of $25 if you can do that, or if you can do more, please, because the Guthrie Center is a great citizen of this community. It's doing the things that need to be done. Because it's like the song says, now we children know what to do. It takes hard work to make a song come true. Our time is now to follow through. It's time to make this land for me and you. We are all Woody's children. We are all glory bound. When we smile, when we sing his song, we surely know the truth he found. When we smile, when we sing his song, we surely know the truth he found. Thank you. Christine Lavin. Well, if you insist. My final thank you goes to the person who I'll sing this one for. Earlier in the evening, I suggested that we should all save our prayers. Well, there's one person here tonight I'd like her to save something else. To all of you, thank you so much for being here tonight. Somewhere on Pluto, there may be somebody who had more fun tonight, but I can tell you, no place on earth. This was great for me. I really appreciate it. You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye. Let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man who held your hand 'neath the pale moonlight. But don't forget who's taken you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. Oh, darling, save the last dance for me. Now I know that the music is fine, like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun. Laugh and sing, but while we're apart, don't give your heart to anyone. 'Cause don't forget who's taken you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. Oh, darling, say Save the last dance for me. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when we touch? I'm never gonna let you go. I love you so much. Oh, darling, save the last dance for me. Now you can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. But if he asks, are you all alone and can he take you home? You've gotta tell him no. 'Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. Oh, darling, save the last dance for me. Oh, darling, save the last dance for me. Save the last dance for me. Good night.